Hello, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Cauli. We're making cauliflower rice shrimp stir fry tonight, and it is gonna be delicioso. I have some bagged veggies here, super duper easy, not even organic, because we are rebellious tonight. This is a mix of carrots and broccoli that are already chopped up and cut up, and I think they have like some scallions in here as well. So I'm gonna cook this, and I also chopped up a very small red onion and diced it about that big. So we're gonna get these things cooking first with a little bit of avocado oil. I like avocado oil for higher heat cooking because it has a very high smoke point, which means the oil is not gonna change when you cook it on high heat, which we like. So that's warming up. I'm gonna go ahead and dump my stuff in here. These are frozen, by the way. This is gonna be cooking on like medium high heat for probably 5 to 10 minutes. All right, while our veggies are cooking, you can go ahead and prep your shrimp. Now, I've already taken care of this part, but I just peeled the little shrimp tails off and made sure there was no veins in the shrimp. So those are good, gave them a really good rinse. I always rinse off my food, like any kind of seafood, poultry, before you cook it. It's an OCD thing of mine. Maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm crazy, maybe it's unnecessary, but I just want to rinse it and give it a nice little bath before it goes onto the heat surface. So these are gonna sit here and they're drying out so that when we put them on the heat with the oil, they'll absorb all the flavors really good. Guys, don't be like me. Cook your onions first before you throw the other veggies in there. I always forget onions take longer to cook. And what's happening here is that my broccoli is mush and the onions are not cooked yet. So that's great, but we roll with the punches. It'll all be good. Okay, mush broccoli and onions and carrots are set aside in their own little bowl. They're just gonna hang out. And then we're gonna put the riced cauliflower on to cook. I do these separately because they never get done on the same pace. So this prevents mush typically, however, the broccoli's mushy tonight. But we're gonna cook this next in a skillet and I'll show you in 1 sec. All right, so I put in about half this bag because it was a family size bag. So about half of it. And now I'm breaking all of the little frozen chunks of cauliflower rice up. It's on like medium-high heat. And there's no oil right now besides what was left in the pan from the last guys. In order to let this cook, I stir it a lot so that it all cooks evenly and it doesn't get super mushy in certain parts. But I want to cook this until all of the water is gone. If you zoom in here really quick, you can see like, this is how I cook cauliflower rice. You see there's like water when you move the rice. You want it to eventually be to where there's no water showing in the pan and it's dry. All right, we'll give this a couple of minutes. All right, so this is getting closer to being done, but I am very particular about my cauliflower rice. I'm a firm believer that you need to cook it a little bit longer than most people say to. I don't like it when it's like dense and chewy. I want it to be lighter and fluffier like actual rice. So I try to cook it a little bit longer. Come here, I'm gonna show you this. See, before you could see the water on the pan, but now you can see there's really no water. See how it's dry? So that's good. All the water's out of it. So now I'm gonna add just a little bit of avocado oil so that it doesn't like burn and stick to the pan, just a tiny bit. I'll stir that up and let this keep cooking for another few minutes so it's really light and fluffy. All right, so this is starting to get a little bit toasted. I can see like just a tiny bit of brown on some of this, which is, it's fine, but that's a sign that it's pretty much done. So I'm gonna turn my temperature down to like medium, and I'm gonna salt it and pepper it. Not too much salt. And then I'm gonna give it one last good stir. And also, like, you'll know when it's done because your spoon just moves through it a lot easier. Like, it's not really fighting you. It just feels fluffy and light. And that's how you know it's done, though. Okay, so we set our cauliflower rice aside in the bowl with the other veggies that were already done. And I turned my heat down to, like, low medium. It's on, like, a 3 out of 10. And I've got a little bit of olive oil in here. And we're gonna add our shrimp. Come here, little scrumpies. Ooh. Okay. Spread these guys out so they can cook evenly. Okay, so these are cooking. I'm gonna salt and pepper them. Now the key with shrimp is not to overcook them. There is nothing worse than a shrimp that tastes like rubber and chews like rubber. So you wanna be really careful not to overcook them. So I'll let them sit there for a minute. And they're starting to become opaque instead of like translucent. And we're gonna flip over ones that need to be flipped. And just let these cook for like another minute and they'll be done. All right, so these are pretty much fully cooked. So I'm going to combine everything now. This is the big moment. Everyone's coming together. Dump in all of our veggies. And they're all mixed. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, this is where we're adding in a lot of our flavor. I'm gonna add a little bit of sesame oil. It's gonna give it that nice stir-fry flavor that we love so much. That was maybe like a teaspoon. And this is toasted sesame oil. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. Very flavorful. It's just like a few sprinkles in there. And coconut aminos. This is the VIP of the cauliflower stir fry. This is gonna flavor everything. It's not soy, but it comes from coconuts. Really good for you. And it has like a really like good, like almost sweet, it's kind of like soy sauce, but it has a different flavor profile. If you've never had it, you should try it. It's so yummy. We're gonna mix all this together. Oh yeah, and also, I like to add a little bit of crushed red pepper just to give it a little bit of heat. Let's add those in. All right, I'm just gonna make sure this has enough seasoning and stuff on it. Whoops, we lost some. Yeah, it's good. There's enough salt. I think we're golden. And that's all she wrote. Healthy, simple, easy meal, low carb, nutrient dense, full of veggies. Yum, yum.